Kit is very shortly going to give us a talk about why she pledges and what St. Paul's means to her. And I'm here in my capacity as treasurer to bore you all with financial details. So pledging is a very important spiritual discipline that has many advantages for each of you. But from a purely business perspective, we need your pledge in order to operate. The only source of income that we have at St. Paul's is from you. So all of our expenses, from big ticket items to salaries to small things like the paper plates we have at coffee hour, are covered only by your pledges. When your vestry meets next month, they're going to pass a budget for 2026. And we can only put expenses in our budget if we have pledges in hand to cover those expenses. We don't base our budget on pledges that we think we might get or hope that we might get. It's based purely on the pledges that we have in hand. So to determine what our pledge goal is, we make a draft budget, which is available on our website. And this year we determined that we needed a 19% increase on average for pledges, which is obviously more than the cost of living increase. There are two big reasons for that. We at St. Paul's do not determine how much to pay the rector. That is determined by the diocese, although we have to pay the salary. And it's determined based on your parish grade, which is a formula involving attendance and pledges and expenses. And we have been a grade C parish. But next year, because we've been growing, we're going to be a grade B parish, which means we have to pay Father Stephen as a grade B rector. Now, we all know there's nothing grade B about him. It's A+ all the way. But so between our grade increase and our cost of living, that's one big factor. And then there's the fact that we are the only grade B parish in the whole diocese that operates with only 2.5 full-time staff. Father Stephen is full-time, although he actually works much more than that. Gary and Emily are half-time, and everybody else together adds up to another half-time person. Most grade B parishes have multiple clergy, and that is not something that we can afford. And so instead, we have added in our budget just under $30,000 for a curate. And a curate is a priest in training, which means that Father Stephen will need to dedicate some time to training them. And in return for that, the diocese pays half of their costs. So we are asking for just under $30,000 extra to cover half the cost of a curate's salary and benefits and payroll taxes. Because, frankly, it's unfair of us to expect Father Stephen to continue working 60 hours a week as he does now. So, although we were asking for an increase, a big increase in pledges, please know that we are very, very careful with your money. We scrutinize every expense that we have. There are no other parishes at our grade level that operate on as much of a shoestring budget as we do. And I'm always happy to answer any questions that you might have about expenses. So if you intend to donate to St. Paul's financially next year, please fill out a pledge card. We would hate to have to cut expenses from the budget when we don't need to, because you do actually intend to give us some money next year, but you didn't fill out a card. And if 19% is going to cause you financial hardship, we don't want you to do that. But you can always donate your time and talents to help us with actual tasks that need to be done that will help us reduce our expenses. At coffee hour after the service, I'm going to be available, and we're going to do a Q&A session, so you can bring all of your questions to ask about stewardship and the budget. And our Kit is going to talk to you about why she pledges and what St. Paul's means to her.